This past December, Florida State got screwed out of the 2024 college football playoff, and I'm here to explain why. This past college football season, the undefeated Power 5 conference champion Florida State Seminoles were excluded from the college football playoff, which is the first time that has ever happened since the CFP started in 2014. This was a complete shock to all, especially head coach Mike Norvell.
I was just hurt for our players. I mean, to be honest with you, that was it was one of the tougher moments that I've had to experience, and just for all that they've done. You talk to a team about responding to adversity, getting up and going to give all that you can to be able to find a way to win a college football game.
Florida State did everything that they were supposed to, winning all their games while being down to their third-string quarterback, Brock Glenn. Starter Jordan Travis went down against North Alabama with a horrific leg injury, and that was used against Florida State with the argument that they were not the same team without him.
Well, I think in looking at it, and again, that was a decision, was Alabama at 4. Florida State is a different team than they were through the first 11 weeks. Coach Norvell, their players, their fans, an incredible season. But as you look at who they are as a team right now, without Jordan Travis, without the offensive dynamic that he brings to it, they are a different team. And the committee voted Alabama 4 and Florida State 5.
Florida State went on to win on the road at Florida and in Charlotte versus Louisville for an ACC title, with a defense that was playing as good as ever down the stretch. Florida State getting penalized for not having their starting quarterback because he got injured goes against everything we know in sports. They continued to prevail and overcome adversity and prove that they were a true team. There's something to say for teams that find ways to win. In no world should a one-loss team jump an undefeated team, let alone 2 one-loss teams.
How you win. It's okay to win with defense. It's okay to have a dominant defense and win a football game. It doesn't always have to be scoring 50 or 60 points. And I think as a football nation, as a group of analysts, we got to wrap our mind around that, because to me, this is about, let's get the 4 best matchups. We can sell it and we can do all these different things. Who cares if Florida State won 16-6 with defense? They dominated a Louisville team from a defensive standpoint. Who cares?
The rankings also did not add up for any of this happening. Going into conference championship weekend, the top 4 was Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State. Provided nothing unusual happened, it was a win and you're in type weekend. Michigan won, they were in. Washington won, they were in. Florida State won, not in. Georgia, however, lost to number 8 Alabama and made it an interesting conversation. It was a difficult decision, sure, but the 3 undefeated teams should have had a locked-up spot. Another flaw with this year's Final Four selection is that the criteria completely changed. This year, it was about the best 4 teams. It has never been that. It has always been the most deserving. For example, 2021 Cincinnati, an undefeated Group of 5 champion that won all their games and earned the right to compete with the best of them. Keyword, earned. Or 2015 Michigan State, who won the Big Ten despite losing to Nebraska and winning a fluky game over Michigan. They also beat 2 top 10s in Ohio State and Iowa, and once again earned their spot. Those teams earned the right to play for a championship, even though it was clear as day they were not one of the top 4 teams. If it was truly the best 4 teams, then shouldn't Georgia have stayed in the top 4 despite a close loss to Alabama, who jumped 4 spots over Florida State for such a massive win? We don't need to get into all the conspiracy theories, and there's a lot of them, but we do know that there was zero consistency with this year's selection, and the snub of Florida State proves why the expansion to 12 teams needed to happen.